Welcome to AP Calculus. I'm your host, Mr. Sindel. By the way, we should all try wear t-shirts on a day. Last year we decided on Friday, but you should all come to a class consensus on when we should wear our shirts. Friday. All right. And if you're gross, every day of the week, and you get tons of extra credit. So Friday, November 6th, 2020. If you do the math, yes. If we add 7 plus 6, that is going to be Friday the 13th, coming up here in a week, right? Objective. And tough one's not here today, right? Go for it. Fiona. There it is. That is a y prime, yeah. So let's go back all the way to basics. If I take the derivative with respect to x of x, I get what? Anyone? X prime is not typically what we say. We usually say 1, right? But why? And I'm not going to write down anything yet. You can use powerhouse rules. You can say a bunch of things. But really, if you're thinking even to like the roots of calculus, you're really saying dx, because you've multiplied d times x, and then your denominator was dx, and then therefore anything over itself is 1. Even if I didn't know anything about calculus and I just saw these random variables, I should be able to somehow get to the consensus that it's 1. So very similar over here. If I take the derivative of y with respect to x, I should get dy over dx. And that is the answer. It's just dy over dx. And there is a shortcut notation that Leibniz used, that we all use today, which is just y prime. So both of those are equivalent. Most of the time on the AP test nowadays, they'll say find dy dx, and you in your head automatically translate that to find y prime, because writing y prime is, what is it, probably almost 4 times as fast as writing dy dx. So I'm going to use dy or y prime for the rest of today's lesson. Let's try it. Take the derivative with respect to x of 3y to the power 4. So it's still powerhouse. Andrea, you want to give it a shot? Yeah, 12y to the third. But normally, if I had over here dx of 3x to the fourth, we would say this is 12x to the power of 3 times x prime, which was just 1. Now it's not 1. There is an inner. There is a dinner. The derivative of the inner, this inner right now is y. The derivative of y is y prime. So our answer is actually 12y cubed y prime. This means we have one extra little nesting doll that we have to worry about. And it's hard to remember that because we haven't really ever done it before. Let's try another one. Fiona, try this one. 2y prime, done. Yeah, and we've already taken the inner. Like the inner has been taken the derivative of, it is y prime. Once you hit your y prime, you know you're done. Once we hit 1, we knew we were done. Okay, and then this one. This is notoriously forgotten, which is why I've added it to the speed sheet for tomorrow. For Monday. Where is it? Yep, I added 3 of these types of problems that are commonly forgotten. Anyone want to take a shot at this? I'll give you a hint. It's tricky. It's not just x, y prime. It's not 1y prime either. It's not 1y, y prime either. My hint for you is it's product rule. There's a variable times another variable. That's product rule. I'm going to write it up for us. 1. Oh, wait. You guys tell me the formula. Andrea, what's the formula? Is plus 2d1. I might have given myself too much room. Andrea, you do 1d2, and then Fiona's going to do 2d1. So 1 y prime, Fiona. Y, exactly. Y times x prime, which is 1. So I can write the 1 just for the sake of our notes. Then Fiona, add those together. X, y prime, and then just plus y. Yeah, so you will see, I guarantee that you will see the derivative of xy somewhere. It might be the derivative of 3xy, 4xy, negative 5xy. They love throwing those in the AP Calculus test. You need to have those memorized. You need to at least memorize, hey, I need to use product rule. If not, just the fact that it's xy prime plus y. So Let's try another one. Again, I'm going to be using product rule. Why? Because there are two variables, x and a y. And we have to worry about a dinner on this case too. So I'm going to write it out again. Product rule, Fiona, is plus 2d1. And I'll pause. I'll let you girls try to do this on your own for a second. All right. We'll do steps again. Andrea, go do 1d2 plus 2d1. Fiona will do the simplification and factoring. Negative 2x, and then this is going to be times 2y, y prime. Oop, 2y, y prime. Keep going. Plus y squared times negative 2. Thank you. I got it right, what you said? Okay. And then Fiona, what do you do from there? Factor out 2y, and you're left with a negative 2y, okay? Xy prime plus y prime, or just y plus y. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, just have these factoring problems ready to go. All right, so these types of problems are, yeah, there are lots of multiple choice problems like this. So it says, example 5, if x squared plus 2xy squared is equal to 8y, what is dy dx? So it's asking, you can automatically process off in your minds and in your notes. They're asking for what is y prime. So how do you solve this? There's two really, really simple steps. Even if I didn't give you these steps, you could probably come up with them on your own. First step is take the derivative. You might want to rearrange your equation if it's easier to do that right now, but typically you're just going to want to do it right off the bat. And then finally, just isolate y prime. Isolate y prime. And that's just using your basic algebra 1 skills. All right, so take the derivative of each of these little pieces. So I'm going to take the derivative of x squared, then I'm going to take the derivative of 2xy squared, then take the derivative of 8y. I think both of you girls can probably do this right now on your own. So I will pause the video and let you try it out. All right, last time Andrea took the derivative. So Fiona, you're up. Take the derivative. Perfect. That's nice. Yeah, product rule. We can start doing our heads. I love it. And then we're kind of stuck at this point. So the general idea for isolating y is try to get all the y primes on one side, all the non-y primes on the other, just by adding and subtracting. So I'm just kind of randomly going to say, I already have a y prime on the right. I'm going to move this term that has a y prime in it to the right, and I'm going to leave the other two terms as 2x and y squared 2 on the left. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract this 2. Oh, I guess I can simplify this too. I can, because this is really a 4. So I'm going to subtract a 4x, y prime from both sides. Subtract a 4x, y prime from both sides. What we have after we do that is the y primes on one side, the non-y primes on the other. I have 2x plus, I should simplify that as well, 2y squared on the left. And on the right-hand side, I have this 8y prime minus 4x, y prime. I want to pause here so that you can have time to think. The question is, what do we do now? I still have 2 y primes. I want to get 1 y prime and then get rid of everything else. How do I convert 2 y primes into 1 y prime? Any ideas? How do you somehow combine those terms or get, because I see 2 y primes, right? I see an 8y prime, something y prime. I see 2 of those. I only want 1 of those because then I can solve for that 1. How? No. Yeah, they're not like terms. You can't add or subtract. The answer is factor. Factor out of y prime. Y prime is the GCF now of that right-hand side of the equal to sign, which I can rewrite better. So factor out the y prime, and what's left over is our, Andrea, what? 4x y, there it is. Left-hand side hasn't changed. It's still this 2x plus 2y squared. And then finally, this is just some block of numbers and variables. Just divide both sides by that. I mean, we're going to have to assume that 8 minus 4xy is not 0, because if it is, we're dividing by 0, and that's a mathematical sin. But let's go ahead and do it. Let's hope that it's not divided by 0. So divide both sides by that 8 minus 4xy. Divide both sides by that 8 minus 4xy. And therefore, y prime is equal to, I don't really want to rewrite that. Technology, save me. Copy paste. And I can even change the color to make it look like I rewrote it. See, I rewrote it. And then we can actually simplify that too. I'm realizing because the top, you can have a GCF, the numerator has a GCF of 2, the bottom has a GCF of 4, but I can divide the top and bottom by 2. So I can rewrite this as, oh, get my pen tool back. Rewrite this as x plus y squared, factoring out the 2 and canceling it out, dividing the bottom by 2 as well, leaves us with 4 minus 2xy. That is a more simplified version. And I could still factor the bottom a little bit more. I could factor out a 2, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it as this form. And that type of procedure where you get all the y primes on one side, factor out the y prime, and then divide by that gross whatever remainder thing is, that is going to be happening every single time in the homework, almost every single time. So get really used to it. All right, this is 5 on our objective. Can you take the derivative with respect to x and then isolate that y prime? 4. All right, nice. That concludes the lesson.